Do you want to do your introduction first, and then I'll start my stream?
Yep, no worries. I'll just check to make sure it is on, loud and clear. So it's coming over. I always watch my stream back, so I'm like, okay. Sometimes it's got worse now that I'm hogging the internet on my laptop. So sometimes it cuts out and I panic, but no, it's not that bad.
It
So
happens.
yeah, yeah, feels bad, man. Okay, so that is us waiting out, and we are in. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is mildly startled with Dual Threat Gaming 77. A good compatriot of mine. We played a few games together. We're currently doing the Rome 2 Total War playthrough with Egypt. And what's the name of your guy? What's the name? I can't remember the name
Oh,
of the.
shit. Not. I don't remember off the top of my head
Yeah,
either.
that's,
It's
that's,
like a
that's the
desert.
guy next to me. That's the guy next to me. And we
Like a.
thought we would do a review of Rome Remaster because we both own it and we thought we'd discuss it. And we both have grew up with it, so to speak, and enjoyed it very, very much. So we're going to be playing a few custom battles while discussing the game. And probably, well, I'm going to be more moaning about it, while I think Dor's going to be nostalgic about it. But I suppose I'll leave it to you, Dor.
I'll
Also,
try to be as objective about it as possible if I can
oh,
help it.
objective. What do you objective? You hear me? I moan all the time about all the games I play, even the ones I like, because I'm British, you see.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, I have mixed feelings about this game, to be honest with you. I enjoy it for what it is. I'm gonna send you a game invite here too. I enjoy it for what it is. It is a remaster, so I'm happy that they didn't like pull Call of Duty and we're just gonna remaster the game and then throw a bunch of new shit into it that wasn't in the original game. So I will give a credit there where it was actually it feels like it is just a remaster of the game. Visually, I think it's one of the better looking games.
I mean, I was on two strains because it was in a tricky place, this game, because of course on one hand it didn't want to change too much because of course the old nostalgia guys like myself would get upset about the changes to the game, but on the other it doesn't really add anything enough to warrant the price tag or warrant the ridiculous size of the game itself. It feels like they have polished things, but not to the extent where I'd really be calling it a remaster, if you know what I mean. It's just more a workable Rome Total War. Whereas of course the old one is like what 32-bit, so it works. It's like a what do you call it? A PowerPoint slideshow. Whereas this, I don't. I got it on sale, £12, but right now it's what 20 quid on where I live, and it's just I don't think it's worth that money. And when you actually play the game, yes, they were quite faithful to the original. It it's the failings of the original become more apparent. So like the things they added, like the improved UI um, and the quote unquote improved AI, I don't think it was that much improved. It's not in my personal opinion. And some of the new features, they're more gimmicks rather than actually interesting, in my opinion. But
Right.
did you send me that invite? Or I can't find it.
Uh, Hang on. I don't even, actually you might have to send me one. It's not inviting
Roger,
me.
I'll send you an invite. But I think we'll go bit by bit, I reckon. So we'll discuss each part of the game and then go from there. So unlocked camera, unit scale, we're going to go extreme. We're going to go extreme, boys.
Oh yeah, always. Actually,
Mildly.
hang on. The game just crashed on me actually. So
Oh, fair one. Fair. Ah, there you go. The first bruise in the first chink in the armor.
yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll get into a custom battle, and then once we're in there, we can we'll go over down like the list, so to speak.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah, I'll start setting up now. Why is it going to be hard difficulty? Yes, go medium difficulty. Yes. Let's go for winter. Why not? I like the winter weather.
Winter's
Random,
fun.
no time limit. Continue. And I'll
Yeah.
invite you. Invite to lobby. I can't even remember the password I put in, if I'm honest.
Hopefully, it's a long password. Why is this? It's giving me so much pain.
Yeah,
I want.
yeah. I try and play it on window mode. That's the thing I did find. Actually, trying to stream this game, it was a bit of a nightmare. Got to play it on window mode. You got to change loads of settings
Yeah.
to actually get it to work. Otherwise, it just dies a death on you. I'm actually going to reload this. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It's loading in finally. So yeah, I I did play a campaign through this. It was I played as like the Greeks. I never played as the Romans. I was kind of into the Greeks myself.
Yeah, I was a big Roma boo, so I played 3 campaigns as the Romans and then 1 campaign as Germany as the Germans because I quite like the German quote unquote historical pikemen, the
Yeah.
historical pike phalanxes of the Germans. Yeah, I found yes, I did like the graphical improvement. I really did. The units are more crisper, and I was worried a little bit about about the potential darkening of the colors to make it more realistic, but they stayed true to it and left an option to, of course, darken the colors to make it less colorful. But they actually did very well in maintaining the sort of color palette and the flashiness of the actual battles themselves, which I quite
Yeah.
liked. But then again, I
And
don't think it's 40 gigs. 40 gigs worth of improvement. That's not. I don't think. When you compare that to like Napoleon Total War or Rome Total War, Rome 2 Total War, I don't think.
yeah,
I
it
don't
is a little
think
much.
so.
You want to each add an AI, or you want to go
Uh,
against AI?
we'll go like this for now, and then next battle I think we'll try and do an AI. I've done unlimited points just to faff around, and I'm going to cheese it.
The Germans. Okay. All right.
Remember,
Well, I will go obviously Spartans. So
okay, okay, here we go, here we go.
obviously gotta do Spartans. So
But what did you think of the graphics yourself, Dawn?
so I actually liked them a lot, and I actually so graphically I compared to the original. So I'm kind of reviewing this 2 different ways. One from nostalgia, and then, like we were talking about earlier, from a game, newish game perspective. So graphically, I gave it like an 8 out of 10 personally. I thought it looked fantastic. The new color palette looks not necessarily a new color palette, but the new colors look good.
You're not in the slightest upset about the size of the game? I'm a bit peeved. Do you think it's 40 gigs worth of graphical
I play on
improvement?
PC. I play on PC, so
Ah,
I don't worry
hell.
about storage
Oh,
per se.
I'm a
It
laptop
is a
killer.
little much
All I'm saying is that
that.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is 111 gigs. So that's almost half. And bearing in mind it was going to be 70 gigabytes. That's why I heard on the grapevine it was going to be 70 gigs of old jank. So I think it definitely is improved. I do like the graphics. I do like the units, the more bit greater detail. And I do like a lot of just the looks of each unit. Personally, it's more crisp and flashy. But of
Yeah.
course, I'm just a bit peeved about the size. But then again, I'm a lowly laptop peasant, so I can't. So I probably just need to get back in my get back in my place, get back in my box.
Jesus.
What about the campaign? What about the campaign graphics? You quite like that?
See, I think the map is overall very nice. Like, like actually, it looks good. It's more detailed. The environment looks way better.
What
So
about
from
the
that, I would.
color change? So there was a few complaints from the old guard about it being too saturated, the new colors.
I don't mind that personally. I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I wasn't too upset myself. I can see where people are coming from, but actually, all the campaign maps for is going from A to B, and it's not too painful on the eyes. Let's be honest, no one really cares about the saturatedness of the campaign map. You're just moving in our armies back and forth. So
Yeah,
I wasn't too upset. The UI was a big sticking point for a lot of people. So a lot of people weren't happy with the new UI. I couldn't
I
see,
think it actually. Go ahead. Sorry.
I can see where they're coming from because I liked the old AI, the UI. I quite liked it, and it was quite jarring coming into the new UI, thinking, "Oh, where is everything?" Um, and then and then once it grew on me, I got used to it. I got used to it, but of course, I didn't. Initially, I was like, "Ah, this is not old Rome." Like, "Wee!" And then like,
Right.
after a couple of campaigns, I was a happy. I could live with it. You know, it wasn't that bad. But then again, did I really need to waste time changing the UI? The first UI was perfectly functional. It was just changing the color of the fence, if you know what I mean. I didn't think the change in the UI was necessary. But then again, who am I to judge, so to speak? I mean, what do you think? Do you think the UI change was necessary, or?
At first, I did not like it. I kind of, to me, it was a little like when I actually get into the campaign, it was a little confusing for me because I'm used to the old way. But
Yeah.
as I used it more, I do like the map, like the technical map of that. I like that a lot. That was one of the big things I like about Rome 2, so I'm glad that they added it into here. But it grew on me, so to speak. It grew on me a little bit, but I didn't mind it. I prefer the original, but personally,
it's more nitpicking, isn't it? Really, I mean, like it's more about the battles themselves. That's what the game is about. You don't really complain about the UI too much. Are you ready, Dor? Are you ready to play?
Yeah,
or?
I'm ready to go here.
Okay, let's do this. Yeah, so really, graphically, I think it was an improvement, but probably not to warrant the size. And UI-wise, a little bit iffy. What about the new mechanics? What about the forgive grievances and the merchants? Did you think they were a useful introduction to the game?
I like the merchants. I didn't like the forgiveness thing because I've seen a couple videos of people exploiting that. So it kind of breaks the game in some ways.
Scream your battle cries.
But overall, I didn't really use the forgiveness thing personally.
I didn't even use it. Yeah, that's a really good thing about this game was the fact you had the choice between some of the remaster changes, say to AI or unit balances, or you could go back to the original and completely ignore merchants and ignore the diplomatic bonuses, which meant that you got the best of both worlds. You could balance between the two. You could either go, I want bits of the good of the remaster which fix some of the jank, like the Seleucids being smashed by the Egyptians and the pajama soldiers, but on the other hand, you could keep in like merchants and things like that, or you could leave out the merchants and carry on. But then that's why I think things go a bit wrong for this game, because as you were saying, it's an old game nostalgia-wise, but that's when we start seeing the sort of chinks in the armor. I mean, graphic like on the campaign itself, when you're moving armies around, of course, with Warhammer or Napoleon, it only takes a couple of turns to replan an army or to do diplomacy. It's just a right click away. But with the old mechanics, it was a bit of a chore, because now with the new games you can create like 4 units at once, whereas this game you've got to have the right buildings to build it. You've got to build 1 unit at a time. It takes you about 20 turns to build a unit, and that really grated on me. The fact that you had to, it was jarring or irritating that you had the seamlessness of the new Total War games, where you could get into battle quite quickly. You didn't have to worry about retraining your units if they got damaged. And then you had to go back to this, and it was like, oh gosh, okay, I've just had 1 battle. That's another 5 turns of building my army back up. And that's what. And it's not really the fault of the remaster. I think it's more the fault of It's just because it's old, really. It's because it's an old game, and it's showing its age. If I'm honest, it's showing its age.
It is.
I mean, what did you find about the flow of the game? Did you were quite happy with the flow, or were you a bit peeved by how long it took compared to the new Total Wars?
Personally, it's slower, and that, like you were saying, I think they do kind of emphasize that in the newer games, making it where you can get in the battle more faster, so you have a way to replenish your army faster. So it's a lot slower. I feel like that was originally how it was designed for, is slower, more methodical, I guess would be the word. But I think overall, it is slower. It's significantly.
I mean, is it slower good or slower bad? Because I think it helps the AI be able to build up its armies a bit more. But when you get to the end game and you're marching across bloody Egypt or the steppes, it suddenly becomes a chore to play, because 1 battle equals another 5 turns of repairing your army, equals another 5 turns of marching your army, and it just becomes very tedious. Maybe it's because of the zoomer in me, because I've had too much current gen games, but my patience was starting to wear thin by the end of it. Especially after I'd finished taking most of the med, I was thinking, oh, you know what, I can't be bothered to keep playing this because I'm just going to blob it. But I think that's a problem with most Total War games, but here it's most apparent.
Yeah, I see. When I was playing through mine, I got all like I played as like Greece, like I was saying. So I conquered all of the area in Greece, and I started pushing, and I took Rome, and then I was noticing I was kind of snowballing everybody after that point, and so I didn't finish that campaign. I conquered all of Rome, and I started pushing north and keep heading towards Spain. I'm ready to start if you are.
I've
There's some
already
cool.
clicked start battle. I'm just waiting for you to end the deployment phase. There we go.
Okay. So I'm only pushing across the bridge, no sneaky shit. So, but one thing I do have to say is I didn't finish the campaign all the way through just because I was snowballing, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I really need to keep playing when I'm already dominating, you know?
Fair one. I mean, I've had some problems with the AI. I mean, they say it's been improved, but I have some really big problems, especially the campaign AI. Several times I have been playing. I've played Rome. I played the Scipio, the Buccia, and the July, and out of 2 or 3 games, they never advanced. They never actually expanded. Um, so I got to about mid-game. I'd taken most of Carthage, or I'd taken most of Greece, and by the end of it, the Julia hadn't advanced at all, and the Buccia hadn't advanced at all, and that happened out of 2 games. And I think really, I don't remember seeing that in my old Total War playthroughs back when I played the original game. So I don't know. So that's already put me off against the quote unquote improved AI because I never saw that, and it really becomes jarring because I think the theme of this game, especially when playing as the Roman factions, is the ambition and the jealousy as you compete with the other families to gain power before the civil war, and then of course you're building up as this one Roman faction, and you look to the other factions thinking, oh, maybe they're getting a bit powerful, maybe I've got to deal with them soon, and they're still stuck in Rome getting slapped by Gauls.
Yeah.
And that's where the game mechanics fall apart. Like the Senate system stops becoming realistic. You're thinking, why is the Julia so well liked? They haven't done anything the entire game. And these very basic um, basic settings or basic mechanics that was overlooked by how seamlessly it all worked together suddenly showed its age and how basic it was.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but
So let me ask you this. So if you had to do overall like a 1 out of 10 scale for, so I have a list. I don't know if do you have a list of them?
yeah, 1 out of 10. Yeah, I don't really do a list, but I'll give it a 1 out of 10. No, I mean no, as in yeah, do out of 10, do it out of 10 scale, do an out of 10 scale.
All right. So for gameplay wise, 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10, I would give it 5. It's not that good. The
It's not the worst though. I have to say
it's
the AI is
you
not
can
the
fight
worst
a
out of
battle.
5 players.
Yeah, you can fight a battle, but it's not difficult. And a lot of times I've seen a unit wiggle. So an enemy army will come towards you, then it'll start wiggling in front of you before attacking, and that's not improved at all. I mean, maybe the old Total War had it, but it was pretty embarrassing when I heard this new and improved remaster, and I'm seeing goals run towards my line, stop, wiggle, and then walk into my lines. I was not very happy about it. I was a bit peeved by this quote unquote improved AI when in fact many times I haven't. It's not. It may be improved, but it's certainly not. It's not noteworthy enough to advertise it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So okay, so a couple of things about the gameplay that I do like is I do like the fact that there is like a general speech again. I think that was pretty cool, and
Yeah.
there's it brings that nostalgia factor back for that. I do like some of the bridge maps. Those are some of my favorite maps just to mess around on and see what units can really do. Like just especially if you're outnumbered, it's really fun to do and play like that. Like kind of how we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've rated it on. I kind of gave it. There was some points like some battles early on where I was actually outnumbered, or I was like I was being sieged by Rome in Sicily, and I noticed the AI. 'Cause I actually sallied out to attack him. I was outnumbered, but instead of the AI like actually just going to a full blown siege battle, the AI actually was like, "Hey, he's attacking me." He kind of realized that, and it moved this entire army farther away from the city. And I was playing on hard difficulty, just to be clear.
Okay, okay. So you you
Hey,
you
Griffin.
think your campaign AI was a little bit better?
Yeah. So for that, the AI was smart enough to realize, hey, they're actually supposed to be attacking me, and I don't want to lose my units to the archer towers. So it moved its whole army further away, and I had to chase it outside the city. So, and it happened to me a couple times where I was thinking, all right, well, he's gonna just charge at me like the AI normally does, and it actually ended up trying to being pretty smart and actually made it very difficult for me. So I would give the AI pretty decently for like that's what I'll rate that
Is
differently.
that campaign
Gameplay wise,
AI, campaign AI, and battle
yeah,
AI, or just battle AI? AI.
no, it's battle AI.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Oh, so
I'd say
it sallied fourth. Okay, it sallied fourth
yeah.
and tried to fight.
So I'd give it gameplay wise I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Um, just because I did enjoy it at some parts, but it was starting to show cracks and it's why did you only bring okay
I'm
you can bring
memeing
as
it.
many.
I'm it's playing this bloody playing
All
bridge
right.
battles, bro. I'm sorry, your bloody full stack elite Spartans and your bloody archers.
I
I thought
came
this was
full stack
memeing.
gold everything, bro. All right, let me let's throw some AI in here. But so gameplay wise, I would rate it just overall. We can get into specifics about the gameplay if you like. I gave it a 7 out of 10 overall for the whole thing. Just because I do, there is some nostalgia, so it does get a point or two for me from that. Graph. Okay, so let's. I guess we'll move on from gameplay. We'll move on to graphics.
Well. We finished on gameplay. How
You
7 out of 10? 7 out of 10
yes.
compared
This
to
is
current
nostalgia.
Total War games. Compared to the current Total War AI, do you believe that is better or worse than current Total War battle AI?
Battle AI, it's on. I would say it's on par.
Oh, bruh.
If not just a little bit below,
After
because I
this,
don't see
oh
some of the AI in other games doing what the battle AI has done here.
uh,
So
uh,
I've had. Go ahead.
no, it's all right. You go ahead. I'm too salty. I'm gonna calm.
I know you were salty about it.
I'm a
I
salty
told you. I
boy.
was like, I don't know if you're gonna like my.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Some
gonna
of the
unfriend you.
some of the things that battle AI does in this game, I don't see it doing in other games. Like I was just telling you, like when it actually, and I saw that army move away from the city I was trying to break the siege to go on a hill because it I guess it registered, and I even tested this too in in the match. I sent a unit out, baited it to see if I could pull it closer to the archer towers. It only stayed close to the archer towers for a second until my army that unit was destroyed, and then it ran back up the hill. I don't
Okay,
see
okay.
other AIs doing that in other games, so that's why I would say I'd rate it kind of pretty high.
Okay. What about open battles? Because like, have you noticed the unit wiggle? Like when you've got like a proper line of Roman hastati, and you have the goals coming towards you, and the goals just wiggle in front of you, or the hoplites just wiggle in front of you, and that just completely destroys your immersion because the entire line breaks apart, and you're just standing there throwing javelins. Like,
I have seen that. Yeah, that
yeah,
is.
I mean that's a pretty big oof for the camp for the main battles. I mean, you saw you got some blinding acts of brilliance from the AI, but then for the most of it, you've got standard mediocrity. I mean, I can't see it being an 8 out of 10. I'm thinking 8 out of 10 is like Attila AI or Darth Mod AI or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't especially in the open battles. I've just seen them do so many stupid things. Um, but then again, I also have never seen him do that in a siege either. So maybe I just need to play some more of it. But yeah, I can't reconcile that 8 out of 10, especially for my camp. Also, my campaign AI experience has been limited. I mean, especially with the Roman families, the 2 out of 3 times playing as Rome, and twice the Roman families were useless.
Yeah.
And then, but playing a final time, they actually were quite successful. Um, but I do like how they did balance the campaign AI a bit more, so the Sulu kids could survive a bit longer. and other factions could survive a little bit longer. But I felt it detracted from that general setting of the Roman advance, and I felt like the AI improvements sort of put a step back for that, or made it more harder for the Roman AI to advance, and therefore stopped that sort of storytelling of the three families, especially if you were playing as a Roman faction yourself. But
Yeah.
I would rate, but I would probably rate the campaign AI because I have seen improvement a 6 out of 10. But the battle AI is just a solid 5. If I'm honest, I don't think it's been more as noticeable as you mentioned in my playthrough. I feel like it's not improved enough to be a challenge, or it hasn't improved enough to stun me, or be a greater improvement from the base game.
We should probably clarify what level of difficulty were you playing on?
I think I was playing hard difficulty for 2 of the campaigns, and for the oh no, I was playing hard difficulty for the German campaign, 2 Roman family campaigns, and then a normal difficulty for the last, I think the last Roman campaign I played. So
Yeah.
3 campaigns hard, 1 normal. But I played hard on the Germans because you just pike lol, you know. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen the same brilliance as you mentioned.
I will
Lol.
say though, I do like the. Oh my God, you did the same thing. Jesus, that's hilarious. I didn't know if you were gonna do that too. I will
Overhyped.
say that I do like Rome Total War, the first one, the original, is one of my favorite games of all time. So I do have it to. I do try to hold this game to the same standard, and I do like the aspect. If I don't want the new features, I can turn them off. You know what I mean? So I can go back and play the original. But that's kind of with the new updated graphics and stuff like that. But oh God, we're gonna have an entire traffic jam right here on the bridge. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think yeah, I would stick with 7. I do see what you're talking about, and it wasn't in every battle that I had, because there was some of the through like the campaign itself where the I was like, what is the AI doing? Like it really realizes like, hey, it's like lost like half of its army, and it like the I just beat it in battle and it's retreating, and all of a sudden like a turn or two later it just starts coming back with the same army. So maybe maybe a 6 would probably be a better judgment. I do see what you're talking about there. So all right, what's the next one here? What graphics? I think.
No, I think we did graphics already.
Okay.
Mechanics. We talked a little bit about the mechanics. Do you feel like the added mechanics were enough content added, or was it still pretty bruh? No,
Um,
not pretty. That's pretty. That's a cheap way of speaking. Do you think that there's enough new content, there's enough new mechanics to warrant it being called a remaster?
okay. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't. So okay. So I'm not gonna grade it that harshly because it is only $30. They weren't trying to remaster this game and sell it for full price like $60. Some games have done that before where they've tried to remaster it and then try to resell them for the full price. So I will give it some leniency there. I think it did add all the factions in that were I think DLCs from the original. They're all in here, so you can play all of those up front, and you can even in the opening menu before you even start the game, you can turn that on to where you have them all unlocked, so you can play them right away. I do like some of the new features.
Yeah, I
Like
did
I got
like that
the,
actually. I did really like that because I was one of the things I was a
I,
bit fed up with.
so I didn't want to have to like, all right, I don't really just want to do a Rome campaign because I feel like
Some of my
I've done
horse,
it.
some of my elephants are drowning in the river. Duel.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Mine are. I guess we're trying to make. They're trying to make an elephant bridge.
That's
I don't know if you've seen that too.
another thing I'm going to talk about is like the pathfinding
Oh, the
in this,
pathfinding in this game is not
especially
better than.
sieges. Sieges is like, ugh.
God, I think yeah. All right, so you just want to move into AI intelligence then? We'll come back to that
Well, I
one.
suppose we'll just cover a bit of everything now. We sort of broke it apart with mechanics and things like that. We're just going everywhere. It's all falling apart. Duel. It's all collapsed in itself like this siege
AI.
battle.
Oh God, AI. I'll just all right. We'll just talk about the AI for a minute.
Okay.
I know this kind of was in gameplay, but like AI specifically, I've seen some positives and I've seen some negatives. Like right now, the pathfinding. I think it's because how big the elephants are, and they are kind of. If we had more of an open map, I don't think this would be necessarily an issue. But
Yeah, I'm not too
AI and
worried about
everything.
this. Yeah, I was thinking more sieges. It could be it was an absolute nightmare in some sieges with. I
Oh,
played on. I didn't play on
mm,
experimental. I played on. What's the level below that in most of my campaigns? And even then, I struggled with it. I was like, this is not. Yeah, the pathfinding is a little bit oofy here. Like a little bit. It was a bit awkward to move units around.
yeah,
Sometimes I also found a lot of the units unresponsive in some of the battles as well. I'd be like clicking them and trying to move them away, and they just stand there. Especially if two units were mixed in between each other. Like if I had two units of cavalry blended
hmm
together after like a charge, sometimes they just wouldn't respond, and I'd have to like order them to reform on other parts of the map before they would actually move and do something. So
yeah,
pathfinding I did find was a bit of a nightmare for me. Um, also found well, really, it was just more the pathfinding. But again, it wasn't enough to ruin the game. It was just a bit awkward. Also, I found it quite jarring the new the key bindings and things like that with the new UI. But in fact, I still don't even know them all. But
Oh,
again,
you
I
wait
think
till
you
you
can
get the
change
US.
that.
I think you can change that back to the original. I didn't mind the key binding, getting that. I didn't mind it too much. I was trying to remember how to do it because I have it set up differently than Rome 2, so I'm used to Rome 2 settings, you know. Um, I didn't. The one thing I had a problem with was the siege battles. I'm a big siege battle player when I do like especially Rome 2 a lot, and then I do that in Empire and Napoleon and stuff like that as well. Um, the siege battles were not very good in this game, with the exception of that one battle where I was attacking them in that because I was being siege and I was attacking them. None of my other siege battles went very well. I just broke one of the walls in, rushed in, took the one unit out that was guarding that wall, and then everything else was either in the streets or they were still sitting on the like objective point. I don't know how if you had that same issue with your siege battles, but I did, and it was just annoying.
I'll tell you the truth, I'm having issues with with the game right now. Maybe the old might be the old tabbing, but mine's gone into right slideshow. Like I think it might be the old tabbing from the stream, but yeah, it's become a right slide. It might just be all the elephants, if I'm honest, but it
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
it's a lot.
But I've had some issues with the game in terms of what you've mentioned, but not enough again to make it a big issue. I think the big issue is just some of the mechanics are so old and aged. Like I got irritated or not. I lost patience with some of the old dated mechanics. Like I lost patience in one unit recruitment per turn per city. I lost patience with the travel distance, and I lost patience with the diplomacy because I was just so spoiled from the new Total Wars.
Yeah,
And yes, it was nice going down nostalgia lane, especially replaying like the Germans or replaying the Romans and the units. But then after you've played a couple of turns and played a few battles, you're thinking, well, actually, um, actually, I'd rather just play Rome 2. I know, I hate saying it. I hate Rome 2,
do
but
you? Rome 2 is one of my favorites.
I think I got it on release. You see, I got it on release, so that's when then you had
Oh,
the Faces
I
of
did
Doom.
too. I did too. I did not play it for the first 6 months.
Oh, that's probably why you're not burned. You're not burnt by it. So
I would
it's
say
a bit
both.
same with Empire. I liked Empire. That's because I bought it late, as I bought Rome 2 on release, and I was like, oh god, what
Yeah,
why are there like grudge faces staring at me? Why are faces from the void staring at me?
yeah. I do like some of the attention to detail. Like I don't know if you see the river right now. There's just bodies floating down it. I don't remember really seeing that a lot in other games.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
have a bit of conspiracy theory here. All right, I'm just gonna have a little conspiracy theory. I'm putting on the tinfoil hat right now. Okay, so bear in mind this is probably not real or true, but I think again this is probably just some nostalgia. I think the speeches in the original Rome Total War were more varied than the speeches in the remaster. Now, my theory for this is because I've played like 3 campaigns with uh, with the Romans, And of course, each individual character had its own individual traits, which is a thing I love from the original Rome, and which sort of died a death with the new releases. And of course, the new traits like mad or lustful or that sort of thing is supposed to be it's
No
supposed to
animals this time. No
yeah,
animals.
supposed to vary. Supposed to vary. You know, so if a guy's crazy, he's supposed to say something crazy. But a few times I've had a crazy guy or a lustful guy, and he's never really mentioned it. Of course, it could just be RNG screwing me over, but I um, I just found that maybe the speeches didn't port very well, or maybe they just haven't like done all the speeches yet. But that's just me
Yeah.
probably being a conspiracy theorist, if I'm honest. I reckon there's probably a load of other videos showing the different speeches and that. But as for my personal playthrough, I just felt, and I think that's just me being bitter about my expectations from the original, and it's me trying to say, me trying to cope. This is just me coping, you know, being the coper about the game not being as good as I remember it.
Right. I so I do. I would say this. I would play this game again. Like on my free time, I would play this game. But I would have played over. Would I play this game over Rome 2? That's where I kind of like. I don't know, because I do love Rome 2, and I do love this game. The reason why I even started playing strategy games was because of Total War Rome, and that's something I have to, I don't. I just want people who are like watching this later on. I don't hate this game. I don't think even Mild even hates this game.
No, I
It's
loved.
just certain.
I liked how they released it. I love how they've actually allowed me to replay my childhood, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
updated and it looks nice, and to a certain degree, that the UI is okay. But so I just want people like probably clarify that we don't hate this game. We're just trying to be objective
It's
and honest about
aged.
it.
That's the problem. It's like, how do I put it? Let's put it into military history terms, shall we? Okay, musket 1700s, really great, groundbreaking weapon. Everyone loves it. Now, if you brought a remastered musket into the 21st century, everyone's going to take the piss out of you. You know, no one's going to like it. It's a bit like this game. At its time, it was wonderful. It was innovative. It was new. It was the only game like it. But of course, as the new releases have come out, and they've built off the mechanics of and they've built new mechanics. When you go back to this game, it feels dated and it almost feels tedious or bad to play, when actually it's not bad. The game at the time was great. It's just old. It's an old game, and I can't justify. I can't justify it being sold for 20 quid. Maybe if it's on sale, being sold for like £12, like how it was on sale when I bought it, but I can't justify the cost for such an old game. But what do you think, Dul? Oh, Dul, are you here? Good news, bad news? Oh, maybe we lost Dul. Maybe we lost him. Maybe I lost me. No, I don't think I lost me. Okay, I think Dul may be having some connection difficulties, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's an old game. It was good for its time. It just shows its age, and it's great for the old guys to go down nostalgia lane, but it's not worth. I don't think it's worth the current price. And the new content they've added is not enough to justify it. The improved AI is not improved enough to make it on par with the current games.
Mhm.
Oh, you're back, Dul. Okay, didn't hear you.
Yeah, it was. We're getting my washer and dryer replaced.
Oh,
Yeah,
Roger. Yep. So yeah, I just think it's an aged game. It was good for its time, but it just shows its age, and I just don't think it's worth the price for such an old game. Really, you're basically playing a workable, slightly graphically improved 12-year-old game.
yeah,
Is it really worth 20 quid?
yeah. For here, it's 30 USD. So unless you have the previous and it knocks it down to 15,
Why are my pigs catching fire?
I caught them before you could do
Oh, that's disappointing. That.
that. But no, I think. Sorry, I was talking about dryer after I was over today.
Oh, there they are. Here's piggies.
Oh, jeez. said if they would have tried to do the same thing, and having played this game and knowing that there's still certain things that are wrong with it, if they would have charged full 30 price and wouldn't give that discount for people who already own this game prior, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like how they did the discount at the very least.
Yeah,
But
like
who would you
step up.
recommend it to? Like all right, so you've got a new guy. He's coming. He wants to get into the game. Like, who would you recommend this game to?
That's the thing. For people, maybe younger people who didn't, or who are younger than us, who well, you probably play like Total War Warhammer, and they're like, "Oh, this is great," but like they may want to like a sharp change and try something new. I like how your units are just running to one.
Literally, you're getting melted by pigs. Oh no, I've been clearly defeated. Okay.
But I don't know if I could recommend this to anybody else. Like for maybe people who've already played it, the original, and they want to see enhanced unit graphics. Like the units look good, their models look good. But I don't know if I could recommend this to. I couldn't recommend it to newer players because they would want to play the newer games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If
I
I was gonna
mean,
recommend any of the older games, I would recommend Rome 2, personally. Because there's a lot more content. I feel like there's a lot more variety in units. There's a lot more maps, I feel like. I mean, some of the maps from this game are in there. They're just updated. I know that's a thing. But I don't know who I'd recommend this to be honest.
yeah, I would recommend it for the old guys if they want to trip down memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd recommend to new guys if they wanted to see what made Creative Assembly. But I wouldn't recommend it for the current price. I'd recommend it on sale. But I couldn't like if it was on sale for like 12 quid and you've got nothing else to spend it on, maybe even less than that. And then I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? You got a lot of content. You got a new setting. You got some mystical units. So give it a go. But I couldn't recommend it to the current generation because of course you've got the new Total War games, which are just better mechanically, better graphically. Even Rome 2, even though I still hate it, but of course even Rome 2 is still better. I got some AI. Yeah, I can do some AI. Actually, should we do a different?
We can change the map and just add like an AI each.
Yeah.
Oh, we can also show what the AI does when we like. I'll just have my army stay back, and if you have your army stay back, and we'll see what the AI does to each other.
No, okay, fair one. Oh wait, I need to add an AI. Actually, I'll need to quit the lobby to add an AI.
That's fine.
So same password, 4 players, restricted camera, host custom battle. And yes, it's a sort of. I thought it was quite sad, if I'm honest. Quite sad when I was playing it because of course I grew up loving it, and I have to invite you, don't I? And then of course when I go back and play it, it's bittersweet because I've got all my memories back of how great the game was. But then of course it just shows its age and it's not as good as it once was. That's
kind of my conclusion I come to too. I do like, and I even will say this. I do love the remaster. I think it's great in certain ways because it brings the nostalgia factor back. It brings, it just reminds me why I play these kind of games. You know what I mean? But it shows its age.
Yeah.
There's more. I know. I feel like some of the UI and other Total War games are better. The map details are better. I just feel like there's other Total Wars that do it better than what this game does. It just shows age pretty apparent, pretty upfront.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's bittersweet because I like the option to replay it. I like how they've gone through the effort of remastering it. Probably a very old and probably not particularly profitable endeavor. But I just think it's a very mediocre game now looking back on it, and it's not worth the current price to play something so out of league with the rest of the current Creative Assembly's releases. But it's a good example of perhaps be careful what you wish for because you just might get it, you know. Because I've been wishing for a remaster for this for Rome Total War for a very long time, and I had hoped Rome 2 was going to be basically just Rome but with better graphics. And so when I've actually come to play it, I've realised that really maybe the nostalgia goggles were just blinding me from how old the game was.
Yeah. Can you make the other AI
Yeah, how do I switch to you?
team, team two?
Oh, of AI Team 2.
Yeah, have the AI team two.
How do I probably do that?
Click on the number icon so you have your.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll have just yeah. Let's see. We'll create a. I'm gonna go with the people of Pontus. I don't like I said. It brings back good memories. I had a lot of fun when playing this game when I was a kid, and for that I do enjoy it.
Okay. All right. So,
But
what would you before we just generally talk about the game? What would you give it out of 10? What would you give it out of 10, and why?
uh, so the original to me was solid, like 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yep.
I would say probably like an. I'm not gonna do like decimal, but I would give it a solid. I would give it being nice, or not necessarily being nice, but being objective. I would give it an 8 out of 10 for its time.
Yep.
It was way ahead of its time. It was, at the time graphically it was really looking good. Like you had thousands of units on screen or hundreds of units on screen. It was cool. Now this game overall, I would give it probably a 6.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would, I know, I do. I'll give it a 7.
And
Just
why?
for I get 1 for nostalgia.
Okay. 1 point for nostalgia. 1 point for nostalgia.
It gets
Okay.
1 point for nostalgia. Okay, I'll be honest about that. That's why it's getting that. So if I didn't have the 1 point, it'd be a 6, but I'm gonna give it a 7. But I think I miss some of the maps. Like you don't have you don't have river maps really in Rome 2. You don't really get them in Attila Empire. You know what I mean?
Oh, the river crossings. Yeah,
Mm.
fair one. They were
I mean,
iconic
it's
for the
my
time, weren't they?
favorite map. They were iconic, and that's what kind of made this game popular. It's like, oh, you can literally have everybody just try to storm across a bridge. It was fun. Me and my friends when we were younger would do that all the time, just pastime and hang out and chill and crack jokes. But we also get to sit there and watch these guys just beat the shit out of each other. So that's I would be yeah, I think 7 out of 10. What about you?
Okay. And I'd probably give it at its time again. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for its time. Like it was the best of the best. Like it was
Before
completely in a league of
narcos,
its own.
this
I
battle
would give
will
it.
be fought.
I wouldn't hesitate by
Whether
giving it a
they
10 out of
age
10.
well or not is
But
inaccurate.
now playing
Great
it
sons
again
of
today
kings,
with
fight
all the
well
little
and
quote unquote
learn the
improvements,
fate
but
of the
really aren't
gods.
improvements, I would give it or aren't significant enough improvements for me. I would give it a 5. It's something you
Verily,
don't.
look to your front.
It's something you play if you've
Keep
got nothing
target
else
and
to do and
left.
you've got some money in the bank. It's not. It's not, in my opinion, something you save up for or look to buy once payday comes in. It's something you see on a sale and you've got nothing else to buy, or it's something. Yeah, you wait for a sale and you wait for it, and you wait basically until it's dirt cheap, and then you've got nothing else to spend it on, spend your hard-earned
Yeah,
bucks on. But
yeah.
what were your feelings upon leaving it? Like, what was your general feeling after leaving the game? Just what were your emotions? Tell me how you're feeling, Duel.
Uh, I mean, it was the first like hour and a half of me playing this. I was like, oh, this is really nice. It brings back a lot of memories and everything like that. But then as some of the battles went on, I was like, all right, the UI is not really. It's just being dumb. And so I wasn't mad, but I was like, there's better like AI units in other games that do a lot better job. But when I was done playing with it, I was kind of like, kind of like relieved it was done. I don't know if that's how you felt about it, but I was like,
Exactly the same. Exactly the same for me. It was initially it was just a wave. I mean, the one thing that does stand up still is the audio. We don't even mention the audio, but the audio was amazing. Still, even on par with the current,
yeah,
like the sound, it's still on par.
it's still probably I would argue it's still some of the best audio in any of the Total War games.
Yeah, yeah.
Music wise, music still the best. There's none that are even close.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that I like as soon as you see the intro cutscenes and you hear that music, or how before the battle there's no music or there's a build up to the music, then the battle starts
Mhm.
and that music kicks in. You
Yeah,
know, and
I
it
know
was
which
just
side you spawn on, so I'm just
amazing.
gonna. I'm not really gonna. I'm on the right side. I don't know if you are
I'm
or
on the
if you're.
left.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move my entire army over
I've already clicked
to.
deployment. My AI is on the right.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll actually, you know what? We'll just do like we'll do a battle. We'll just play it out.
Have you brought a proper army? Because I haven't.
I did. I did. I
Okay,
just.
okay. So we're in some memes.
I didn't want to hold everybody up because I was
Well,
trying
we'll
to.
play a proper battle after this. I'll bring some actual decent units.
Yeah, I was trying to. I didn't want to hold up the stream.
That's all right. My stream's bloody crashing after time. It does not like being streamed. This thing.
Uh, rushed and clicked it. But no, I don't know. I just it's a fun game to like play for a little bit. Like it would have to be in a small dose because there's other games that I think just do a better job overall. You
Yeah.
know, like I like I'm like I said I like Rome Total War. I like not a big fan of the Warhammer games, but I do play them.
I mean, yeah. I think you're right. I mean, it was the initial wave was great, and then once actually things settled in, there was just more of a yeah. You started to realize the cracks started to show, but
Mm,
we'll stop complaining about or lamenting the game. Of course, you like it a bit more than I do.
mm,
But I think you've you've got the nail on the head mostly about the general feelings of the game. I don't agree with you on the 7 out of 10, but I think nostalgia wise, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I probably should have given it one for nostalgia,
so,
but
you know, we're being honest. Like this is what got us into strategy games.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think it's unfair to bring the nail on. But what was your favorite faction and why? That's the question.
Honestly, it's gonna sound weird. I do like Greece. I mean, this is kind of a everybody likes Greece, but I would say probably Egypt. I do like Egypt's factions. The Pharaoh Guard's really cool to play, and their remodeling is really good as well. Um,
I liked Greece because Greece was easy. You just got a militia, get militia Greeks out, and you had a good time. You know, just
yeah,
like any siege, you just put them in the corner. I like the Germans
yeah,
because the Germans had flavor. That's what I liked about the actual units in this game was the flavor
mhm,
between units. Like sometimes I feel that Rome 2 or a lot of the new stuff, it just has it's quite lazy. So they'll say levy spearmen for the entire barbarian army.
yeah,
Um, but with this, like each barbarian faction does feel unique. It feels it feels like the swordsmen are unique, the druids are unique for the Celts, the knight raiders are unique for the Germans. So that's what I really
mhm,
liked about the Total War, the old Total War, of the remaster was the uniqueness of a lot of the game mechanics,
yeah.
a lot of
And some of
a
the
lot of the
units are
factions.
still there. I feel like there's some units in here that are a lot more unique than the other games.
Because some of them are
Like
ahistorical,
yeah, and they're
a bit memey, but quite funny.
you spammed like all chariots, didn't you, you son of a bitch?
Are you Rome or are you?
I'm Red Rome. Yeah, yeah.
Oh Jesus! I thought you were the AI.
No, I'm.
Is this a valid strat?
Might be. I just think we've learned something new
It's
here.
working.
It is really working. I am all over the place. I thought those were like. I didn't realize they were all chariots.
There you go. You actually brought an army, yeah, and I just memed it, boys, with the Scythian Harriers.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Um,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'll bring a proper army next time. I'll bring.
no, I don't care. It's funny. But no, it is. It is fun to play with like your friends and stuff like that. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't if I had to choose between this and like a new Rome game or a new like Total War game just in general. I would pick the new Total War game. I wouldn't go out of my way to like when I first saw the news that this was coming out, they were remastering this. I only purely got this for nostalgia. That was it.
That's a fair one.
I wasn't going out like, oh, thank God to bring it like this. Because and the reason why is because purely because I remember how good Rome Total War was, or Total War Rome, however you want to say it, and it was a fun game. It was a great game. I had a lot of hours in that game. It was fun. But yeah, I would not have. If I would have known it was, I don't know.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it? It's weird. I felt the same feeling. It's like it's bittersweet, you know. You're happy and sad at the same time, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think my favorite faction was the Germans because the Germans had the best of both worlds. You had the pikemen, the meme pikemen, uh, of
Right.
uh, and then of course you had the berserkers. I think my favorite units were the berserkers,
Hmm.
and then you actually had and you just had an all-round army. You had screeching women, which was great. You just have screeching women on the rear line, screeching
Hmm.
away. I just really liked. But then again, their starting area is garbage. It's just absolute garbage.
One thing I will say though, I do like in this game that does do better than I would like Rome 2, for example, is the pikeman. I like how the pikeman phalanx looks better in this game than the other ones. I don't know if you noticed that, but like if you look
It
at
feels
the how
better. It does. It does.
feel better, but it also looks better, like aesthetically. Like all they like they like when they're walking, all their pikes are up, but when they go into formation, the front two rows, I believe, like come down, and then they all start kind of angling after that. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
yeah, I
know.
love it. I love it. It's just like
Like,
it's very symmetrical, unrealistic, but it just feels good, you know. It feels
mhm.
good. Gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling when you've got a long line of Greeks.
You too. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I was get my dog real quick, but
And what's your
yeah.
least favorite faction? What's the faction you hate?
Oh, uh, I'm gonna have to look again. I have a feeling it was kind of towards Spain. I feel like Spain could have used some extra units in this game.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
to not to be like stupid. Like I understand why Spain is the way it is in the game, but if you're gonna remaster and Spain could have used some help. I feel like their units were a little lacking in variety. Like I'll next game I'll show you. I'll show all the units Spain has, and you're telling me those guys got to compete against the Germanic and the Roman like units. There's not enough variety for them to even do anything.
These Scythe chariots are such a meme.
No, you
This is
completely
like
wrecked.
this is like the like Troy.
Yeah, completely wrecked.
Like it's ridiculous, ridiculous.
What
But
about you? What would you say was your least favorite?
I think my least favorite would have to be, if I think about it, um, let's see, what nations do I normally play? It would have to be like the Scythians or the Parthians because their early game units are rubbish,
Mhm.
and like you have the pajama infantry, and then your late game units are so expensive, but you need to blob out first to actually be able to use them, like the cataphracts, you know. And they're in like the arse end of the world, like the Scythians and that, like on the far corner of the map, so you're not getting anywhere anytime soon.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my dog real quick. I had to put her in the bedroom for a
No
second.
worries. There we go. Look at these spiky boys. I can't believe that worked.
I don't know about you, but I think we'll play one more just for like the game. But I think overall, I think we're pretty much done with
Yeah, I
the
think we're
review.
more or less we're just beating a dead horse now. But I just want to keep on playing with some meme units, you know. But
It
yeah,
is
we'll play
fun.
a proper battle.
It is fun for the memes, I think.
What,
But
should we do a historical battle or a I don't know, a Carthage versus Rome or Rome versus Seleucids or something like that?
yeah, I mean, we'll be on the same team this time.
Okay, I'll try and switch teams to see if we can. Um,
Mm.
but what games are you looking for? Well, now that we've finished beating the dead horse of Rome.
Oh, all right. So overall, I think this game between the two scores would be. I know I said I don't want to do decimal, but 6.5 I think would be the
Yeah,
average
okay.
between the both
I
of
will
us.
accept
Just
6.5.
so we can if anybody's made it to the end of the video, they can see that. Um, but I think games looking forward coming out this year. Uh, there's not really any new strategy games that I've noticed that really caught my attention. There's more. I'm more in survival games right now than anything. Um, I'd say Battlefield I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you were planning on getting that.
I'm gonna
If you did,
wait. I was burnt out after Battlefield 5. I bought that again. I made a stupid mistake of buying it or purchasing it, and I'm pretty scarred after that game. It just got
it was
abandoned. It's just like I bought it with the expectation that eventually they do Stalingrad, or eventually they do D-Day, or eventually they'd add more content, and actually
yeah,
they did the
it was
Pacific campaign and dropped it.
that was probably the biggest waste of money I've ever put into purchasing any game was the Battlefield 5. I like the motion of that game. We could probably review that game another day if you really wanted to.
I'd have to
Um,
reinstall it, you know. I don't. I think
but
I'd
I
be
can tell you
disgusted
right
by
now,
reinstall.
I already know my score playing that game. It would be a subpar below 5 out of 10, easy, because you have a developer, EA dice, right? Multi-million dollar, probably billion-dollar company. Say, hey, we're gonna release this game. We're gonna add all these things. Like the Pacific Theater was probably my favorite part of that whole game. And then they just well, actually, I'm going to go on a rant, but I'm just not. We'll focus on this.
That's a fair one. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to review it because, of course, I'd have to show game footage of it, and I don't think the game's probably dead. And I don't, and I have to install it, and I just don't want to. I'd have to reinstall EA Play or whatever it is, you know.
Oh no, it's
So I'm gonna
I think
wait until until after a couple of months after the hype's died out to see if it's worth getting. But I feel like I feel they're on the slippery slope. I don't think those guys have got much room to maneuver anymore. If uh,
I
if
don't
this
think
is
they
another
have.
flop, then I think those bad boys are going downtown. Oh, they're
Yeah,
going to get
what other
eaten by EA.
what other games you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the new DLC for Hoi 4. That's going to look very good. Um,
Yeah,
so of course they're expanding on the Russian front. So they're
yeah, which is
so
neat.
yeah, they're going to do like a tank designer, I think, and they're also going to do railway networks. And I think the railway networks are hopefully going to. I wonder if I can invite you. Can I invite you to my side? There we
Okay.
are. Okay. Um, yeah. So I think so I think the railway network is going to shake up the metro quite a bit. But I'm a bit hesitant about the potential issues of trains. If trains cost a lot to produce, then I expect a lot of Axis miners are going to get dicked to be to be train factories. I'm also a bit hesitant about the railway network because I can see already a meta being just to destroy your railways and just hide behind the Stalin line. Also, I don't like the new piercing mechanic. It appears that whereas before already, if you were trying to do anti-tank infantry, you had to what did you have to do? You had to get a really high piercing value, so you had to put a shitload of anti-tank in it. And that was quite hard in multiplayer because a lot of good players would just use heavy tanks or they'd use medium tanks. So it was actually quite an achievement to be able to pierce. To be able
Switch to
to.
team 2. Sorry.
How do I switch over to you?
Click on your number below your.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. I just realized that.
Yes, that's fine. No worries. Yeah, so it's quite hard to it was quite hard to pierce already a lot of enemy tanks, and so now that the enemy tanks are only going to get partial damage depending on the extent of the pierce, it means that anti-tank infantry have been like heavily nerfed. But I'm not a fan of it, if I'm honest.
No, infantry in that game wins. It wins games.
Yeah, but hopefully the anti-tank wrong. Hopefully the new combat width will temporarily at least change the meta.
Yeah.
And if not, then well, you know, it is what it is. But hopefully that changes the meta, and I'm hoping also the new tank designers also change the meta a little bit. But you know what it's like; it kicks off really well, and then
People discover the best way to the best strats, and then that becomes the entire meta.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes the entire meta, and then of course you're getting shouted at to not to do it the right way, otherwise you're gonna get banned. You know.
which is so dumb, I think,
Yeah, well,
personally.
it's just a community in general. I mean, it's like you have to wait 6 hours, and a lot of people are just fed up with games that just end too quickly. But I think that especially for historical games, there's often it's very difficult to get communities. But I am hoping that there's a fairly long disturbance in the meta with the new DLC, so
Mhm.
new strats can be introduced and people can play around a bit more, if you know what I mean, rather than
Yeah.
the current stale repetition of
As
same game
as
over and
long
over.
as long as there's variety in how to play, I'll be happy with that.
Probably my
You
fault
know?
because I play all the bloody historical games. You see, there's a certain builds, and if you don't do them, you're just gonna get screwed.
I'm getting correct, yeah.
Mm. But
Wait, hang on, do
I
we have
think that's going to change the meta a little bit. I think it is. And apart from that, I don't know what else. I mean, I think there's going to be I'm going to play Back for Blood because I think that's going to be a meme.
I'm getting that game.
Yeah, I'll
That's
get the
also
game.
another
I think
game.
it's going to die pretty quickly, especially if it's going to be a microtransaction fest. But I think I will be able to get at least some fun from it while I wait, so to speak. Um,
Mm,
well, for a few months before people move off it. It depends how much content they add or how good the actual game is. But these are the same
my
guys what
wife
did Evolve, you know.
yeah, my wife's gonna get that game too, so we'll be able to run, like, a full squad.
We can do a review of that as well. I mean, what do you want to review next? What games have you got?
Uh, I'll show you on
No, we can discuss it later anyway.
Hey,
You know.
Taylor, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining. We're finishing up the review of the, Rome Remaster right now. Um, I think next game I think would be probably would be fair, would be Rome 2, I guess, to review.
Oh, fair one. But I'm gonna you're gonna I'll probably
I know you're gonna lie into that one. That's probably
yeah.
my favorite Total War game, so I'll have
You're
to
gonna have to
be
defend
unbiased.
it. You're gonna defend it massively. I'm gonna look online for Rome 2 memes.
Look, I can't defend that first year.
I'm
I
not going to be
can't
playing this. I'm not actually going to be playing the game when we review it. I'm actually just going to be like surfing the internet for Rome 2 memes and just posting this as my argument, or clips of the AI doing something stupid.
That's understandable. I will not even be upset about that because I mean, there's a lot of memes, especially in the beginning. Um, hang on, I don't know what you do with the enemy army. Is they like a meme thing?
Whoa, no. Maybe I just can't see them yet. Maybe it's fog of war,
Okay,
or maybe they just don't exist. I suppose we'll find out in a second.
let's see. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think Rome. What do you think, Rome 2?
Yeah, I reckon Rome 2. Why not? We both got the game, and it doesn't mean we have to buy any more. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rome 2 is probably
I
a good shout.
probably want to. I don't know. Maybe we hold off on that one. Maybe do that a little bit later. But the only reason why I'm saying that is because we got to finish our campaign,
Oh yeah, you're
and
right. You're right.
we're still in the phase where it's still kind of difficult, and it's actually fun right now.
Mm, mm.
So we're gonna see how it turns into like a snowball fest. If it does, let's see. We'll chase these cap down.
Well, we could also what do you call it? Do a bit of a Hoi 4. As if you are you going to get the DLC or are you not really a Hoi 4 fellow?
Oh, I have well over 500 hours in that game.
Ah,
Easy.
fair one, fair one. Oh, of course, all the elitists would look down upon you, but
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
everyone. Oh, that's
You
500.
need at
That's
least
nothing.
2K hours to play a major. Mm.
Yeah, only 500. I only have 500 hours in America. Come on, or Germany. Like, all right,
But
man. Well, I work a full-time job. All right, so get off my ass.
yeah, exactly. Some people
I'm
like to play other games.
playing a lot of them. That's the problem.
Have you seen the Grand Tactician? I think you have. I think you've seen me stream it.
Yeah.
You reckon about getting that bad boy? Are you just waiting for that to come out of early access?
See, I don't want to like reviewing wise or
Just gameplay wise, if you don't even want to review it, I mean, it's still an early access, so it's no point reviewing it. But I mean,
so I have watched you play it. If it doesn't look to me like a game I would enjoy per se, so I don't want to play a game like I'm gonna go in there and be like, it's not really something I want, and then shit on it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
To be fair,
that's a fair one.
I don't know. It doesn't look like my type of game. I'm more of like if I'm gonna play, like I like this kind of strategy games where it's like I got to maneuver, I got to react, stuff like that. That one's a little bit more slower pace, which
It's a
I
slower
mean,
game. That's why I like it. It's a slow boy, slow boy.
yeah, I mean, if you like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm
Mm.
not knocking that. It's not my type of game personally.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like when I was playing that Siege Survivor, was like, it's not really my kind of game, but I can see why people would enjoy it.
Mm.
You know, it was had interesting mechanics, and of course, again, the old cynical Brit in me was sort of slagging it off, and Duel was like, stop, stop now, mildly. You're always so
Yeah,
negative, you're always so cynical. Stop being such a bad boy. I was like, oh, okay, okay, Duel, it's not as bad as I think it is. I've just been
I agree.
moaning. Well, there's a running trend, you know. I'm the one with the constant negativity, and Duel's the ray
Oh,
of sunshine.
great sunshine, Jesus! I never recalled that before.
Yeah,
That's so
you're the voice of reason. I'm the
oh,
lyncher. You're the judge.
oh God.
It seems like my guys, the Spanish and my guys don't want to fight, whereas you're neck deep in Romans already.
Oh yeah, that's straight up cheese over here right now. I don't know what is this? This is general Roman general. All right, I already just killed the general because he ran into my pikes. So good AI right there.
It's a feature. It's a feature. He's got what do you call it, aggressive leader, you know?
Jesus. Let's see. Yep, go ahead, charge my pikes. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead, come on.
But still, it's also a good demonstration of the AI if you want. Yeah, no, it's actually pretty good we did this. And
Yep.
plus, I'll be honest, the bridge battles are sort of destroying my destroying my frame for some reason.
I figured that's what was happening. I didn't want to do that to you, so I was like,
I
eh,
was like, oh, what's happened here? It was bad, man. Duel doesn't. I don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good. Please help.
Yeah. How so when do you think we're going to finish the Rome 2 campaign? What's our goal for that?
So let me see. We can probably. I was gonna go over and help my dad today, but he hasn't messaged me back, so I don't know if he needs to. So we can probably continue it today after this,
Yeah,
if
we
you
could give it a
want.
call. I'll go for smoke, and then I'll end the stream and redo it. So this is a self-contained stream, so to speak. But yeah, I reckon we could continue it.
I'll also make sure to put this on. It'll be on YouTube, and then well, maybe edit this a little bit because I know there's some gaps where I had to leave for a sec, so I might edit a little bit. I
I don't
just
know.
want
Do you want to leave it
to.
unedited so it's like as honest as possible? You know, there's no flash. There's no flash
That's
involved.
true. I
Or
mean, I wouldn't edit any of like the reviewing part. I would just because
oh
there's
yeah, when you're away, that's a fair one. That's a fair one. That's all right.
just because I don't know.
It's just me being lazy. It's like, oh, that means I've got to edit mine as well. It's like, okay, okay. It was
All right,
bad,
so
man.
now they're getting developed. Let's fast forward here.
Again, Dor was Dor was the the artisan when it comes to YouTube editing and things like that.
Oh, not
I
very
just throw
often.
shit on it. I
I
just throw everything at it and just hope it sticks.
listen, I had to spend $70 for video editing software. I'm gonna definitely get my money's worth out of it. That's my thinking about it
Yeah,
personally.
YouTube
So
editor's not the best. The
not
best.
it's not yeah no, God, no. And it's not cheap though either. So I just try to as a new YouTuber, it's something I can afford. It's not gonna break.
I'm gonna be lazy and get you to edit all my videos. I'm like, yeah, bro. I know you're working full time, and I know you're editing
Yeah,
your own videos. Just edit 6 hours of my footage for me, please.
the thing I don't have a problem editing though is because my wife likes helps and edits as well, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, I
I
do
am getting
editing in
blanked over
my
here.
work, you see, so I don't really like doing it.
Oh, do you? Oh shit! I'll just pay you.
This amateur editing, so it's like just like cutting out words and phrases, nothing too big.
Hmm.
So I don't. So that's why when I actually don't want to install any editing software into my laptop either. So it's a mixture of things, a mixture of things. But I don't. Yeah, maybe one day when I become a big old sellout, and I'll become the editing master, and then I'll be able to have unpleasant opinions on Twitter.
Oh no, Jesus.
I'll be that guy. Still waiting for the bathtub stream, duel. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, for what? For you or me?
Oh, for you, for you.
Listen, you got enough money. If you tip me, let's this video get let's see if this video gets 100 likes.
No, don't do that. No, because it's gonna
Oh,
happen.
it's so
Like you're gonna see, like I when I did the Grand Tactician YouTube videos, I thought, oh, it's not gonna be a big deal. Next thing you know, I've got 100 views. What the fuck's this? And so it's a slippery slope. All it takes is the algorithm to shine upon you, and next thing you know, you're doing a hot tub stream.
Yeah, you just
Don't
gotta
do
get
it, Daw. Don't do it.
I get the YouTube hand of God to reach down and grace you with His presence.
Yeah, you've got to
Man,
you've got to sacrifice a god to the algorithm, and they'll
I get it.
sacrifice a sheep to the algorithm, and
Yes, you gotta what is it? You gotta sacrifice a wolf during the blood moon,
yeah,
and some crazy shit.
yeah. I mean,
Get some
I guess
money
it must
over
have because of
here.
being like the word union. Like I think it must be the word union campaign because the union campaign just took off. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And then but for some reason, and then the Confederate one hasn't done as well. But I think that's because it's 6 hours of unadulterated whining of me. It's like, bruh. It's funny that like the algorithm though. It's just like, well, you just don't know what's going to take off or not.
We're just gonna review YouTube next.
Yeah, well, we should actually go for the low hanging fruit and do not actually do any of our our own content and just what comment on other people's content. Like
Oh
streamer
yeah,
reacts
no.
to.
Oh, I know that. See, some of that shit's funny though.
Yeah, it
There's some
depends, especially if it's a Twitch streamer and so
watch
and yeah, and they've been asked to do it. But if it's just
that
like a
are
whole
funny,
YouTube
but it's like
page,
your whole channel. Like you, I mean, some people. I can't talk shit because there's some people who are really popular that make a lot of money doing that. So I guess it would be kind of me just semi hating it.
yeah, it's sour grapes, sour grapes. I can't reach these grapes, so they must be sour. Yeah, yeah. It depends on the content. You can't just do a sweeping statement, can you? There you go.
No,
That's why Daw is the voice of reason. I just do sweeping statements as Daw just like
I try
clarifies.
to be like
He's the
clarifying. I try to be I'm not articulate at any level, but I try to break things down in a little bit, more detail. Like, all right, well, there's this reason why it's this, or the way that AI likes it. Like you broke down earlier, I think was pretty good. Was the battle AI versus the campaign AI,
yeah
and I
yeah
think that's pretty fair. And that's what I was like, oh yeah, yeah, definitely, because you see a definitely different, especially in this game, you see a big difference in the campaign AI versus battle AI. Sometimes the battle AI is really good, and you're like, holy shit, I'm going against like some of the top generals of like all time. And then other times you're like, oh, this guy's like not all there. He's got rocks in his head. You know, I'm trying to be PC about that, but you can.
yeah. He's yeah yeah. I've been stupid basically.
Yeah, I know there's certain words you get banned on Twitch for saying nowadays.
Oh God, don't mention it. We don't want to. We don't want 1 hour's worth of footage to be thrown in the bin. That's why you're doing the editing, you see. So if mine goes wrong, you can say you can salvage it. I'll just steal your video.
I don't make money off of. I don't make money off of YouTube, so I'm not. I curse, so
Yeah, that's
I don't.
exactly. I mean,
I don't
I
edit.
like to curse. If I'm honest, I don't. I'd hate coming off work and having to watch what I say. I've already got to watch what work what I got. I've already got to watch what I say to the normies already.
Yeah, I curse. I come from the military. Come from the Navy specifically, so that is just how we talk. I try to, be a little bit easier on that on here because I don't want to curse too much and then just completely be like, oh, YouTube, and just be known for that. I do try to explain myself. I try to elaborate on things, but I do curse, especially when I play like War Thunder. Oh my god! Because sometimes I'm like, how the hell did this happen? How did this guy just shoot me from across the map? And like he shoots me like between like 3 inches of rock. There's like a gap, like 3 inch gap in between rocks, and
I
my
can't
tank
play the
just
game. I can't do it because my eyes are just like I'm getting sniped from nowhere. And it's like Jesus, I just get
it's
mauled.
you know what? If this game does, or what would it take for you to play that game with me?
I don't know. I mean, like if you really wanted me to, I guess we could do a review of that. I suppose, or we could play that,
I
and
would
then
review that because
and you
that's
could
like
review it, and I could just moan about it, and discuss it from a pleb's perspective. So you can discuss it from an experienced player's perspective, and I can discuss it
that
from a
wouldn't be a bad idea too. We could do that. If anybody has any ideas of like games they would like to see reviewed,
yeah. That's a good
you know,
idea actually because
well, we don't mind. as long as it's not like super expensive and
Or it's like some anime game like Doki Doki or something,
yeah, please no. If
within reason.
if you want to see like a another not Rome, I always say that another Total War game we can review. If it's within our budget and we have you know finances to do that and a time to do it, we can definitely do that. But I think the next game honestly probably be Hoist 4
Oh,
to
yeah,
review.
I think that'd be a good from a single player perspective. I think would be a good idea. So you've got 500 hours. I've got about 1.2k hours.
So I'll be the noob there, you know.
So we could do it from a single player perspective, and then I know we could join a meme game, but that's going to be a 6 hour slog. That is.
Or
So
we can just do a co-op stream.
yeah, we do a co-op stream with the new DLC. I think that's a good idea. We can discuss the
And
new DLC. You can discuss it from your perspective, and I'll discuss it from the multiplayer perspective. Of course, I'm not with the
are you
elite,
winning over
but
there or what's going on?
I've played a few minors.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind because we could do like a not necessarily a meme game, but like we can play like, oh hey, I'm gonna play like Mexico, or you
Yeah,
can play like
I think we should do Germany, because we'll get the best of both worlds with the new mechanics. You see, so we'd have the mechanics all in France and the railway mechanics in Russia, or we could do a cop Russia and see if we can meme it. But of
yeah,
course, if
yeah,
you just want to play a meme game like in America, then we can give that a go as well. Or we can just do both. Why not? I
yeah,
reckon we can
both.
go 5 speed. We'll just do both.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem at all. I mean, Hoi 4 would be to me the next like for a strategy game review. To me, would be a good choice, just because we both have a lot of time in this game. I wish I could have sunk more hours into this game playing it, but with work and life, I just didn't really have
Yeah,
the
we don't have the
necessary.
time. We don't have the
And there
time.
wasn't. And also, one thing I will say, final thing I'll say on this game is it's fun in small doses. But if I was to play this game, like if I would have had more, if I could have had more time to play this game in smaller doses, I think it would have been better. But I had to play this game within 2 weeks, and I was just splitting between this and doing my other live streams as well. So
Yeah, you're right.
there wasn't really that draw for me to play more of this game than when I did. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because of course you don't want to like make it like a job. Like when I was what was I doing? I was I think I was playing. I was playing. I can't remember what. I can't remember. I think I was playing. I was playing a game and I was doing it for stream, but I needed to finish it, and I wasn't particularly enjoying it, but I had to get it done. You know what I mean? To get it out of my backlog, and it just became it was very difficult because you had work and you had to stream, and in your own free time you don't want to be playing that game, but because you don't want to really like Attila. Like Attila, for example, I got fed up with Attila. And I didn't really want to carry on playing it because I was like, I can do it in small doses, but I just don't enjoy it. But of course, I've got to do it for the stream because I've already made, so many episodes. I don't want to end the
Yeah,
stream. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from. So I think that's a good thing about us is that we don't play it. We don't do these things professionally, and so we can be honest and we can do it from a casual player's perspective rather than an
yeah,
absolute memer's perspective. Well, not a meme, from a sort of a proper, someone who does it for a living.
yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be. Are you opening over here?
Yeah, I'm not even paying attention if I'm honest. I killed the Spanish about 2 hours ago. I'm just sort of faffing
Oh,
about.
Jesus, I'm over here just slowing this process down.
Oh wait, there's a couple of them over there, isn't there? Yeah, I've completely ignored them. Oh, it's the bloody siege onagers.
Yeah, I think that's it. It'll be one.
It's the
But yeah,
siege
I
onagers on the
think
top left.
we'll probably wrap it up here, huh?
Yeah, we'll call an end to it. There's no need to watch it to the end, so I'll exit the
Yeah.
desktop. But yeah, so that was the review, I suppose. Looking back on it, what do you think we could do to improve it? If you think we could improve it, give us a shout. If you're quite happy with the
Yeah, please.
casualness of it, um, then thank you very much. We're probably going to be playing a bit of Rome 2 now after I have my smoke. But what do you think we could add or we could do to sort of fix or make it better?
Oh, you asking me or like you just
Yeah, well, yeah.
asking in general?
I'll ask you and the viewers, so to speak. So
Um, I think we did good. This is our first time ever reviewing. You asked me to do this what 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah, because it
Yeah,
made a
so
change from just playing games, you know. It just made a change to actually
yeah,
talking about games. That's why
I
we did it.
do I do like the live stream format for reviewing games. I feel like it's more honest. And like we as even as like creator, like content creators, we are technically content creators. We do um so I feel like it's a little bit more honest. We do make mistakes in reviews. We could probably tighten it up and keep it more precise on like certain topics.
Yeah, but I think a
You know,
lot other reviewers already do that. They already edit out to make it neat, whereas our stuff is unadulterated, so sometimes we don't get the word across right. But
mhm.
um, but
I think overall, I think we did fine, and
yeah,
I hope people
I
enjoy
quite
it.
like
And
it because it's not too serious, and it's pretty and I like the way we just talk through it and discuss the bits and bobs. But yeah, I like the live stream route because of course it's full on integrity, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
There's
but
no yeah, no bending or removing stuff.
yeah, I mean, I hope people enjoy it, and if they want to see us do more of them, and if they want to catch us doing live stream reviews, and so they can put their input in, that's fine too. I have no problem with that. I personally like that. Um, so I mean, maybe we can start if people do want to see it. We can try to set something up during the week when we're both not working, and we can try to do more live reviews. I did like doing this
It was
actually.
good,
It's
wasn't
been
it?
a
It was
lot
a
of fun.
change of pace. I liked it.
It was a change of pace and it was different. So
Mm.
I would like to do more of them, but I want to make sure that I think next time have more time in a game to
Yeah, yeah,
fully flesh it out.
that,
And it
yeah.
wasn't that no, I'm like, not blaming you or saying anything bad about that. I was like, I want to be able to spend more time in a game and be able to flesh it fully out and give my full. Because there's certain things I wasn't able to do. Like I didn't, like I said, earlier, I didn't finish the main campaign for a couple reasons. One was time constraints, my personal life, and then at the end, there wasn't really a drive to because I feel like I already won. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe if we finish our Rome 2 review, maybe a Hoid 4, we can start a Hoid 4 playthrough, and then we can start doing it that way as well.
Sounds good. I've actually a good idea. We'll do a Rome, not a Rome, but I think we're already doing that. We'll do a and that Hoi 4 play was not going to be too difficult, not too long either, especially if we've got good internet together. It'll just be a
Yeah.
silky smooth 5 speed unless you've got pikey connection, in which case we'll have to
We'll
be
see how it goes.
I'll have to ban you if you also yeah I'm going to be really toxic and make sure your meta's absolutely perfect. Like, you need to tell me before you actually I invite you to co-op your exact um
We could hell, we could play
tank
Hoid
whips.
4 today if you want. I don't care. Don't bother me. But thanks everybody for watching. We'll be please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Mildly Startled also has a YouTube page as well.
Oh,
So if you can throw over a subscribe and a like to his as well, that'd be great. We're also on Twitch as well, as you can see.
yep.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. You got
Thanks,
any last
guys.
words?
And I will see you guys later. We got the Rome 2 stream after, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit.